on this episode of Tell Us a Story.
And we focus on helping them create full-time income with part-time work by leveraging low-ticket offers. At Passive Income Pathways, we love to help people monetize their businesses. And I moved to a domestic violence homeless shelter.
If you could just sort of bring us through your story and how you made it to Passive Income Pathways.
I knew, I could just feel that that was something. I could help masses of people make a bunch of money and not burn myself out. So from there, it just kind of evolved.
And your coaching program, you said you have that and you have VIP coaching as well.
So I just take all of my ideas because my flavor of ADHD has thousands of ideas in my head all day. So instead of
It's going to be a supportive environment designed to help everyone and everyone. Welcome to Tell Us a Story, the podcast by Belmont City Press, where entrepreneurs and sales professionals share their journeys, insights, and strategies for success. In each episode, our guests reveal how they've overcome challenges, established their brands, and leveraged their stories to promote their businesses so you can too. I'm Red Hilton, your host for this episode. Today I'm joined by Sadie Smiley, who is the owner of Passive Income Pathways. So, Sadie, tell us a story.
Hi, Red. Thank you for having me and creating this space. I have been binge listening to your podcast all week, so I love all the unique perspectives. As for me at Passive Income Pathways, we love to help people monetize their businesses. And by people, I generally mean online creators, digital product creators, bloggers, that type of person. And we focus on helping them create full-time income with part-time work by leveraging low-ticket offers. So you can read more about us on our website, passiveincomepathways.com, and we can be reached at the Contact Me page or where I'm always at, my Facebook group, Passive Income Pathways.
Fabulous, fabulous. I'm certain many people are extremely interested in what it is that your company offers. But if you could just sort of bring us through your story and how you made it to Passive Income Pathways.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this all week, and my story can start in so many places. But the real heart of Passive Income Pathways is radical generosity and helping people not with a handout, but with a hand up. So helping, them level up in an accessible way without, gatekeeping and charging outrageous prices. And that comes from me starting my online journey when I was living in a homeless shelter. So I was a single mom of two and 8 months pregnant with my third. And I moved to a domestic violence homeless shelter. And one of the things that this shelter had was a computer room. And I was the only one in the whole shelter. There were 18 families. I was the only one that knew how to really use the computer. So I started, the computer was meant to be for job searches, but I knew I couldn't afford daycare. I was going to have 3 children, and I was looking at jobs that would pay $7 an hour because, this was more than a decade ago. But I just knew in my head, I was like, there's no way that I will ever get out of poverty if I don't do something different. And my mom was an entrepreneur. She always had side hustles growing up. So I had that business mindset. And so I just started trying to figure out how to work online. And long story short, ended up being a virtual assistant. And one of my very first virtual assistant gigs, it was so funny. It was for an old lady that didn't understand the computer or internet. And so she would have me print all of her forms off. People would submit forms on our website it was for a surrogacy agency. They would submit forms. She was in Kentucky, I was in Missouri, and she would have me print the forms and file them in my files in Missouri. And then she would call me and ask questions about the files.
That's amazing.
Which has to be like the most inefficient process in the world. But she was so happy to pay me, and I was so happy to work at home. So that kind of started my journey of working at home with kids. And then I launched my first low ticket membership in 2015. 15, 16-ish. And that was the first year that I hit six figures. And I knew I had figured something out. It was a low ticket membership. It was, $10 a month and then $20 a month. I knew, like, I could just feel that that was something. I could help masses of people make a bunch of money and not burn myself out. So from there, it just kind of evolved. I've had multiple memberships since then. And then 3 years ago, after 2020 happened, we started PIPs, Passive Income Pathways. And it started out teaching people how to blog and how to use AI because it was just starting to get popular. And it's evolved into just this huge business. We have almost 1,000 members. We have 23,000 people in our Facebook group. Like, it's just this huge thing that I never even knew that we could help this many people without burning out, like without having to work 24/7. That's the real key, because you can make a lot of money. That can be done, but making a lot of money doing what you love and not having to be chained to the computer 24/7. That's
important
trifecta.
To a lot of people. So tell us more about Passive Income Pathways. Sort of walk us through. What do we need to know?
Yeah. So at the base, Passive Income Pathways is about teaching people how to get out of their financial situations. Like, if they're struggling financially, it's just all of my ideas and all of my experience. I have hustled in every way imaginable to be able to crawl out of, being on food stamps and rent assistance and not being able to, pay for food. So I had to do so many different things to learn how to make the money. So I just take all of my ideas, because my flavor of ADHD has thousands of ideas in my head all day. And then I turn them into trainings, or I pop up a video in the Facebook group and I'm like, look, you guys, you could do this and this and this. And then you made your $100 for the day. Cause that's kind of my goal, is to get everybody at $100 a day to start out. And so I'll just, inspiration comes from everywhere, and I'll just pop in and share all those things. So it's really like a community of everyone just leveling up, and really, like, we meet you where you're at. It's some people, they need $150 to pay their electric bill this month, and other people have already gotten to the point where they're paying their bills and they're like, I want to start investing and, having a retirement. So we teach you all the fundamentals, the foundation of building a blog and affiliate marketing, digital product creation, all of those things in order to make money basically on your own terms, because it's your flexibility. You're not having to clock in and clock out. And it's also what you really feel led to create. It's not me saying, you should create this, and putting you in a box. It's me saying, you can create whatever you want and make money with it. We just have to situate it a certain way.
Sure. That's excellent. So I guess what I always like to ask people, what's a misconception about what it is that you do?
So there's a few, but I think the biggest misconception is that passive income, because I named my business Passive Income Pathways. Everyone that has a misconception, it's usually they think that passive income starts right away. They're like, oh, I just lost my job. I need to learn how to make passive income. And I'm like, whoa. Okay, stop right there, because that's not how it works. I have a path. We have a course that teaches you how to make $1,000 in 10 days. And that's the path I put them on. If you are broke and needing money right now, go do the challenge and make as close to $1,000 as you can. Then that will give you a little bit of breathing and wiggle room to where you can actually think and start your passive income journey. Because if you come in thinking, I'm going to start a blog and I'm going to make six figures next year, 99.9% of people are not going to make six figures with their blog, period, but definitely not in their first year. So I think the misconception is just that, like, passive income, they think, oh, I'm going to sit back and make money watching Netflix and chill. No, you have to work your butt off to build that foundation. And then the reason it's called passive income is because it gets easier and easier and easier. Just like with stocks, if you invest your money, it grows more and more and more. And that's the same thing. You got to invest time, or you got to invest money. And if you don't have a bunch of money to experiment with ads, then you're going to have to put that time in. And your first year is really laying that foundation. And then after that, that's when you're like, wow, I wasn't making anything, and now I'm making 1,000 a month. I bet I could do 2,000. I bet I could do three. Sadie said 10,000 is her next goal. Oh wow, I can do 10,000. And that's how I've built my business, is just every day you start by getting it to where you're making 100 a day, and then now my goal is 1,000 a day. So you just keep going and going. But yeah, don't expect to come in and make money right away. It's not a job where you clock in and out and get a paycheck, because that job will never pay you $10,000 a month or $1,000 a day anyway. That's the beauty of working for yourself, right? The income limit isn't there.
I see. I see. Yes. So at your website, you mentioned that. What is it they're going to find?
Yeah, so when you go to Passive Income Pathways, you're going to see, first of all, a newsletter that you can sign up for. So I can send you fun ideas for making money, but also how to blog, how to use AI to blog so you can save time, how to build your Etsy shop, how to use Canva, all the things that you need to really create a solid business that's going to pay you.
Okay. All right. And your coaching program, you said you have that, and you have VIP coaching as well. Walk us through each of those, who it's for, timelines, anything you have that you can share.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have we call Passive Income Pathways PIPS. So I have my PIPS Lite membership. This is my all access pass to all of my courses. And then we have a monthly coaching call, and we're adding a few more things in, but we also have body doubling now as well, which is very helpful for my ADHD people. If you guys are listening and you have ADHD, you know that you can't do things sometimes, but if somebody's on Zoom with you, you absolutely can, and it helps so much. So Pips Lite is the base, and you get blogging foundations. You learn how to make courses. You learn affiliate marketing. You get that 1K challenge I was talking about. All of those things. And it's $27 a month. So I keep everything really financially affordable. And then with Pips VIP, it's more of like a mastermind community coaching. Like we do coaching. I do coaching calls every single week, but there's about 200 of us online creators, and we collaborate on projects. We work together to learn new skills, host challenges, just like learning new ways to make money in our businesses and sharing them. So the VIP space is really, it's where my heart is. Like I love my whole business, but I enjoy being with my VIPs every day because it's just fun. Like I find myself getting on my phone to see what my VIPs are doing. Like somebody made money, or somebody got a new member, or all of these celebrations and wins. And it's very energizing, because working online can be very lonely, especially if you're an introvert and you're not, putting yourself out there like a lot of people make it seem so easy to do. But a lot of us in VIP are introverts, and it's just so nice to have like this little safe bubble where everyone's happy, everyone's helpful. There's no competition. We just, even if there's 5 people in the same niche, we just come in and collaborate and make something amazing together. So I love VIP so much.
So you have your regular coaching program. How many people at a time do you usually have in your coaching program?
So right now with Light, I think we have about 600 members. And when we do our coaching calls, honestly, less than 100 people show up for the coaching calls a lot of the times. There's a lot of people that are busy and they'll watch the replays or read the transcript, something like that. But when we get on these calls, you're able to get in and just ask questions to people who get it. Like if you're struggling with something, setting up your blog, or you don't understand something, you can't just go ask on your Facebook page, like, why is my funnel not converting very well? Like nobody knows what the heck you're talking about, right? So you can get on the calls and just get really specific with your business, with 100 of your closest friends or 50 of your closest friends, however many people show up. But yeah, the coaching calls right now, they're once a month, but for 2025, we're actually going to be adding some more coaching calls to Light for the beginners that really, really need some more
Hand-holding.
help.
Yeah.
Yes.
And with your VIPs, how many are those generally that you carry a month?
So right now we're at I want to say almost 200. We
Mm.
had about 250 a few months ago and I cleaned house. I like to run a tight ship. I know that it's easy to just sit back and collect the money, but for me, my energy comes from you doing the thing. And if you're just sitting there and not doing anything and not interacting in any way, then it kind of makes me feel exhausted.
Mm.
So, and that's me being not to be too woo-woo, but a manifesting generator in human design. Like I gotta go, go, go. And so I feed off of everyone doing the thing. And so, yeah,
Sure.
I cleaned house a little bit and now we're hovering around 200.
That's still a good amount of friends to
Yeah.
make, but it's also, a lot of information you can get from other people, a lot of experience in there, but it's not too big that you'd get lost.
Yeah, it's manageable. That's one of the things too. Like I've thought about it and I'm always big on goal setting. And I'm like, I want 1,000 members in my light membership. I don't want 1,000 members in my VIP because with 200 members, I know each of my members and I know most of their businesses. So when they show up to a call, I usually don't have to ask too many questions. When they ask something, I'm like, oh, do this. And we move on. Oh, do this. And we move on. If I had 1,000 people, I wouldn't be able to know any of them. So
Yeah.
I like that it's fairly intimate and we have, 50 people showing up to the calls each week. It's very nice.
Now you said you have almost 23,000 on your Facebook. We're going to go a little bigger than the VIP. Talk to us what people experience there, what they're going to experience at your Facebook group.
Yeah, so my Facebook group is a very interesting space because the name is Passive Income Pathways and Blogging Tips. So I attract a lot of people that are looking for passive income, but again, with that misconception, they don't understand. So there's a lot of education that goes into that group and explaining like there are many different paths you can take. Here's
Mm-hmm.
one. Here's one. Oh, that one won't work. Here's one. So I'm just constantly giving ideas. And one thing that people will either love or hate, it'll resonate or won't, is I'm a no excuses type person. I have been compared, a few of my VIPs refer to me as the Jillian Michaels of blogging, because you know how she's like in your face, doesn't care what your problems are, you're finna do the thing no matter what. And I am the same way. Like I literally started PIPs after I had thyroid cancer and I was in the hospital. I was in the hospital almost the whole month of October and I launched PIPs in November.
Mm.
So I don't do the excuse thing. I do respect and understand neurodiversity. So I don't want people to think that I'm saying everyone can do the same thing,
Mm.
but everyone is capable of doing something.
Something.
And that's what we focus on in the group. It's like, okay, these are your limitations. Cool. Try this. Oh, you have this limitation. Try that. And a lot of people, especially with ADHD, they're like, I can't organize things. I can't remember things. I can't do this. I have a system that I've created that finally, after years, works for me. So I'm like, here's my system. It's
Mm.
completely free. I'm not selling them anything. I'm like, look, this is my whole system that organizes my whole life. Try this. And once you're able to focus that much, then you have all the space to make money. You can't just run into it blind and expect when your life is crazy and on fire to be able to focus enough to make money. So we got to clean house a little bit. And so we work on that a lot. But yeah, people come into the group for all different reasons, but most of them end up realizing that they want to start a blog, and blogging is my favorite thing to talk about. So we do that a lot.
Well, at least we discovered your favorite thing. Talk to me about profitable pivots.
Yes. So this is a huge deal for me because, like I said, I am introverted and I have ADHD. So organization, it is not my strong suit under any circumstance. But I have made these accommodations for myself, and I've organized this project, and it's a project that is experimental. So for all of 2025, I have a different training each week that's going to drip out. And there's about 30 different creators that I've pulled in on this. So throughout 2025, all 52 weeks, every single week, there's a new training. And it's basically like an idea or a training for content creators to experiment with making small changes, pivots in their business so they can make more money. And specifically, my goal with this is so they can make more money no matter the shape of the economy. Because when the economy goes up, everybody's excited, spending a lot of money. And then whenever we start talking about the economy going down, everybody gets scared. Everybody goes into that scarcity mindset and into their shell. And that's not going to help you do any better, regardless of how the economy is doing. You coming in and having that scarcity mindset is not going to make you money, so all of this is really the baseline was no matter what shape the world is in, you can do these little pivots and try these little experiments with your business because they've worked for others. So for example, you're going to do a training one week, you're going to show people, this is what you can do to pivot a little bit, and this is how it can help you make more money. And so each of the creators are creating trainees for that. And that's kind of like my brain's specialty, is being able to just like pivot a little bit and make a lot more money. So we're turning it into a whole year-long project.
A whole year-long project from your mushy computer to everybody else. So talking about collaborations, what is it that we're doing coming up soon?
Yes. So we decided to talk about pitching because a lot of my introverted people, a lot of my ADHD people, they struggle with pitching. I think it stems from all the icky pitches that we get thrown at us all the time. Like, if you want me to be honest about it, it's we see all this sales copy and this manipulation and people literally teaching you how to manipulate people into buying things. And that is just gross and icky. So then we associate pitching with the ick. So we have so geniusly named it How to Pitch Yourself Without the Ick.
Branding is everything, quite honestly. pitchyourselfwithouttheick.com. That's where you're going to find information. We'll put something in the show notes. But you and I are going to get together with your group of, VIPs, your regulars, anyone from your Facebook or anyone out there that is looking to figure out a way and have step-by-step guidance on crafting the perfect elevator pitch. They're going to learn how to eliminate anxiety from, performing or saying their pitch and be able to pitch your business with confidence. They're going to develop a reusable marketing tool to enhance their brand's communication strategy. It's ideal for both beginners and those who are looking to refine their approach. It's neurodiverse and introvert friendly. It's going to be a supportive environment designed to help everyone pitch with clarity and ease. And that is going to be on Tuesday, October 29th from 10 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And that is what time, Sadie? Because I'm not going to do the conversion.
7 a.m. Pacific.
To 8:30. So 7 to 8:30 a.m. Pacific. So the link for everything is going to be in the show notes, but it's going to be Pitch Yourself Without the Ick. You can register there. It'll be a Zoom. We'll all get together and we're going to walk through how to create our own 30-second elevator pitch for your business so that you can pitch yourself without the ick.
I love that. And I have to mention this. I've been in business for going on 2 decades at this point, but I've had pips for 3 years. I've never had an elevator pitch because I thought they all sounded stupid. Everything I came up with, it didn't matter if I used ChatGPT, who's my BFF, or I've hired people to help me, all of it. It did not feel good. So working with you and going through your process, it made it like there was no more friction. I had so much friction about it and I just didn't like it. And so it made it to where it was easy and smooth. And it made me think about, like, if you're going and you're baking a cake and you know how to bake a cake, like kind of what you need to do and the ingredients and, I need to bake it at this degree, but there's friction, right? If you don't have a recipe. And so for this collaboration we're doing, you're literally giving everyone the recipe so they can just come in and, okay, we need a cup of sugar, we need a cup of flour, whatever. And just having that recipe and templatizing this, it's so helpful for literally everyone. Like you said, it doesn't matter if you're new and this is your first one or you're an OG. I've had elevator pitches. I've been teaching at conferences since like 2009. And so I've had them, but it really truly will help everyone. And that's actually really rare for one thing to help everyone. So I'm very excited about this. And I love that everyone's going to come and get to use your brain power for all of these things because
My
we
mushy
need
computer.
that.
Yes. So
Yes.
you had your elevator pitch. You tried the elevator pitch yourself, by your onesie. You know what I mean? All by
Yep.
yourself. And then when you and I
Yep.
chatted last, I was like, let's walk through this together and see if we can,
Yeah.
collab and get you to a good place with your elevator pitch. Talk about that experience from A to B to C.
Yeah, it's night and day. And it's almost like I don't have a lot of feelings of being embarrassed or having shame or anything like that, but it is almost embarrassing how easy you made it and how like overcomplicated I was making it to not have a pitch for all these years. Like I'm just like, really, Sadie, get it together. You can't be serious. But it was a huge hurdle for me. So whenever I put it in, the template that you have, and I put it in, I still didn't get it because I couldn't see the whole thing. And when you and I started talking, it was like you instantly saw the whole picture. And I think that's really the key here is we're trying to piece together this statement and include this and include that. But you're like, here. Like it's just the whole thing. And it flows so well. And it's something that even if I don't memorize the exact words, it's like it's just the
You get your
gist of it
flow.
is there.
You know
Yeah.
the
And you can just
formula.
talk.
You have a hook, you have a story, you have an
Yeah.
offer, a call to action, which is specifically what an elevator pitch is. So you don't have to start deviating and going into your personal bio and wanting to give too much information.
Yes.
And that's a challenge for us
Yes.
as business owners, because as I said to you, we know at the granular level every single piece of lint in our business
Mhm.
because it's our baby. And nobody needs to receive that information inside of 60 seconds when we're introducing ourselves. So
It's overwhelming. It's just
you
like,
don't want to overwhelm someone, but we want to make sure that we're being clear. You want to be broad, but you want to be specific. It's a very challenging thing. So walking through and doing our, for our collaboration for Pitch Yourself Without the Ick, everyone is going to, hopefully trust the process, but they're going to understand what the formula is so they can replicate it, duplicate it. They can, take the concepts, if you will, and use the tools that they have to produce it in perpetuity.
yeah, the middle. That's like you make it to where it's not too broad and it's not so specific. It's not too broad that nobody cares. Because used to, like, I would just be like, I'm a blogger. Like I don't know how to explain that to you. So I'm just gonna say I'm a blogger, or I'll be like, I'm a blogger and a coach. That's not enough information for them to ask anything. And then if you go too specific and I'm like, oh, I help people build low ticket memberships. And they're like, what the heck is a low ticket membership? And so it's too much. And so you really you find that sweet spot. And I think you're also very good at coming up with a little one sentence thing, because you said, reach out so we can discover your passive income pathways together. Tell me why it's been 3 years and that did not pop in my head. Like,
that your
what?
tagline is sort of the name of your company.
How did I not think of that? And it was just like, you just did it. And it was so beautiful and graceful. And like I said, just
that is me, if nothing
spot.
else. Beauty and grace. Here she is, right? But it's sometimes, again, your job is to do your job, is to handle your business. And the marketing and advertising or the PR, that is not what you do for a living. So if you have to add that on top of what it is you're doing to earn a living, you're going to hit some some challenges and some walls. So that's why having a formula makes everything easy. So from elevator pitches to 5-minute webinars to signature talks, everything that people need to sort of launch or promote their business, that's what Belmont City Press tries to help people with. And because of my AR with OCD and my efficiency issues, I want to make sure that it's very easy. You can duplicate, replicate, and there's a formula that you understand the concept so you can implement the tools.
Yes, yes. Understanding the concept. I think that's something you're going to be able to help my people with a lot to really understand why we need it and then how to follow that formula. But yeah, absolutely so helpful. And you mentioned marketing being a separate thing from our business, like, creating and doing our business. I was on a interview a couple weeks ago and the guy's a blogger just like me. Like we write all day. We love writing and blogging. And he said, blogging's only 20% of it, marketing's the other 80%.
Amen.
And I was like I knew that marketing was a lot of it, right? Because I flounder with that part. But when he said 80, the 80-20 rule, so he said 80% was marketing. I've always thought of it as 80% is the creation and 20% is the marketing. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You can create the best product ever, but if you don't spend that 80% getting it out there or hiring someone who knows what the heck they're doing, like you guys do, nobody's going to see your amazing creation. And I think a lot of us creatives, we don't get that. And so that stuck with me. And now I've completely started to flip everything. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta learn some more and connect with people who know about the marketing side of things for sure.
And as I always say to people, you don't know something until someone teaches you. You were not born knowing these things. This is what I've learned. I'll share it with you. You've learned that, you share it with me. And that's that rising tide lifts all boats mentality that Belmont City Press tries to implement. And that's why, we do these things, or we go out and we make our presentations and we talk to people about improving, their understanding of concepts to implement the tools.
Love it.
Sadie, what is your Monty? As you know, Monty is our mascot here at Belmont City Press, and he's sort of that beacon of all things inspirational, or maybe a little lesson that you've learned, or a mantra that you carry with you. So, what is your Monty?
Yeah, so the thing I say all day, every day, and it sounds kind of like I'm ripping off Nike, so don't come for me, but it's just do the thing. Like, just do the thing. No matter what your physical or mental limitations might be, you can do the thing in your own way. And at Pips, we try to focus on using our struggles and our limitations as our superpowers instead of our excuses. So instead of me saying, I can't do XYZ because of my ADHD, I'm like, how can I monetize all my ideas because of my ADHD, right? So we try to flip and reframe that. But yeah, just do the thing.
Absolutely. Sometimes knowing what you can't do pushes you towards what you can.
Absolutely.
The reframing is what's important. Are you ready for our rapid fire session?
Yes.
Of course, everybody is, always. Absolutely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get to know the Sadie behind the Sadie. I'm going to give you two choices, and you let me know which one speaks to you the most. And I'll let you know if you're right or wrong. And that's completely based in my opinion, which is fact.
Perfect.
So are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Would you rather watch a Disney movie or a Pixar?
I don't watch like cartoons, so whichever one of those is not cartoons.
I think they both kind of are. What would you watch if you sit down to sit and watch something?
I like dumb humor, like Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell stuff. My husband hates it, but I love the stupid humor because I can just turn my brain off.
I understand. Mouth breathe. Absolutely. So if I were to say comedy or action? Comedy all day long. Okay. Would you rather be in the city or the country?
I knew I was going to struggle with this thread. I'm not a good picker because I like everything for different reasons, but
Absolutely.
I'm going to say city.
What is your first instinct? If you were going somewhere and you went to your favorite, went to place A and then place B, in what order would you go in them? Because we're all a little flavor of something.
Yeah, I like the city because I can go try new coffee shops. That's one of my favorite hobbies.
Okay. Texting or calling?
Oh, texting. Don't ever call me.
I know. That unannounced call. Like, who's dead? That's the only question I'm answering my phone with. What happened? All right. Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Really? Okay. All right. Would you rather swim in the ocean or a lake?
A pool?
All right. That is really the only good option. But between those, I don't know if I can handle a lake because no, I can't. And then there's sharks in the ocean. It's challenging. I understand that. Would you rather go traveling or a staycation?
Traveling. Oh
Okay.
yeah, I'm traveling. I
Did you
went to
travel
India
by?
last year.
Oh, really? Travel by
Fell in love.
a train or bus?
A train for sure.
If you had to play on ice skates or roller skates, which would you rather?
I would break my neck, but roller skates.
Well, do you want to be on the cold ice when you fall or the ground?
Right.
Right?
What
That's
about
where
you?
I here's the thing. I used to ice skate, but I would pick roller skates. Isn't that weird? And I don't know, maybe because I'm old and I like can I don't know. There's less sliding with ice skates. You know what I'm saying? Like those muscles you don't have to use, like bowling
Yeah.
muscles. You know what I mean when I say
Yeah.
bowling muscles? Do you ever go bowling like once every 5 years and things hurt that never hurt no matter what else you do?
My
You're a
husband
bowling
loves to
muscles.
bowl.
That's
Yes.
you're a bowling muscles. All right, chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Okay, thank you. That's the only right answer. We all know that. All right, guest to guest question. As you know, the guest before you left behind a question for you to answer during our show today. Are you ready for your guest to guest question?
I am.
Okay, as ready as I'm going to be. Describe a time you felt completely at peace.
I can describe a place because every time I go there, I'm completely at peace, and it's Sedona, Arizona at the Vortex.
Okay.
It's amazing.
I heard donut when you said that, so it took a minute for it to I was like, okay, I'm
I mean, donuts make me happy,
right,
but
right.
Sedona is just Sedona is just a magical place, and I like going to the airport Vortex. You hike, you just take it. It's like 50 steps, but you go up. You're right, and then you just see the whole city and the red rocks, and the energy there is just second to none. I've been a lot of places, and I've never felt that way.
All right. Well, now we know. And one more time for us, the website, the Facebook, the groups, what we need to know in order to find you. Let us know.
Yeah, so passiveincomepathways.com is where you're going to find pretty much everything. That's the, doorway to all the things. And then my Facebook group is Passive Income Pathways. I do change the name of my Facebook group from time to time out of experiment to see if it helps get more members or a different type of member. But it always has Passive Income Pathways in the title, usually something about blogging or side hustles. So yeah, there's also a link to the group though on my website and on my emails, so it's not hard to find.
Okay. If I gave you 60 seconds to tell us a story, what would the world learn from you?
I read this in what you sent over to me, and I didn't quite understand.
So what is a lesson somebody can, a short, quick little lesson that they can learn from your experience?
I think just no matter where you came from, whether you grew up and had a crappy childhood, whether you've been homeless multiple times like I have, no matter where you're at in life, it doesn't matter if you're 25 or 65. I have VIPs. One of my VIPs is 69 years old. So no matter what, you can always level up and become your version of successful. So it does require drive, determination, grit, all those things, and guidance from the right people. But that's why I'm here. Like, that's my purpose, is to make sure that I'm able to help everybody. So of course, I understand there are privileges many of us have. There are head starts that others have not been given. And that's why I feel like it's our responsibility to help each other out. And that's why we're so collaborative. So my head starts that I've gotten, I want to share those with anybody else that I can. So I think just learning that, how to really collaborate and help each other out. And also, I'm good at teaching you how to reframe your thoughts, flip your excuses into superpowers, and again, never forget to reach back and help others. So instead of saying, I can't, say, how can I? And then we can figure it out together.
Rising tide lifts all boats.
Yes.
I appreciate your time. It's extremely valuable, and I hope I honored that here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. To our listeners, if you have a story to share, visit tellasastorypodcast.com. If you're an aspiring author, a seasoned business owner, or looking to elevate your personal brand, visit BelmontCityPress.com for expert advice on writing your own success story. Trust the next chapter because you are the author. Now, tell us a story.